Could this be your next ultimate adventure vehicle? Let's find out. My name is Jimmy. This is the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. It's the exact same as the 2025 model, except for 2025, they dropped the first edition. But let me tell you what you need to know here. I mean, it's a brand new vehicle, right? It looks good. It has that old school charm about it. And if you go with the base 1958 model, you also get those round headlamps that I really like. On this upper trim here, I do get the rigid fog lamps, and I can switch that between regular 4000K and 3000K depending on driving situation. That's actually kind of cool. On the side, it's a very boxy shape, 20-inch wheels on it. Kind of what it like 18s maybe with some AT tires, but that's really more of the 4Runner territory rather than the Land Cruiser. And then out back, we got LED tail lamps, and then this full diaper. It's a little weird looking, but essentially it's just there to cover your hitch. I mean, I think most owners will probably take that off because it just looks kind of weird and awkward, but hey, totally up to you. What I do like is they kept the rear window where you can open it with a button here on the side so you can get access to everything that you need inside. The only thing is the height of it is a little tall, so if you're shorter, that might not be the best. And also, if you're shorter, if we open up the hatch, while you do get a big 38 cubic feet of space here, well, just the height of the load floor is quite high. It's like 37 inches or so. And because of that, you're just lifting things higher than you might be. And that's just all because of the packaging of the battery pack and whatnot. If you were to utilize this as like a camper, you can, but there are a few things that you got to worry about. First, the rear seats, they don't fold completely flat into the floor. When you have them just folded, you do get this hump. You can, of course, build some sort of platform on top so you can use the entire length of the vehicle, or you can tumble the seats forward. But even if you tumble the seats forward, I just don't think you'll have enough room between the tumbled seats and all the way to the back, even if you have a platform where, well, the seats were. So your best chance of really sleeping inside this is either platform or remove the rear seats and platform. So either way, you got a little bit of building, or of course, rooftop tent is always an option. And yeah, you can definitely do that. They didn't put a panel sunroof here, so you don't have to worry about, dropping something on it and breaking and whatnot. They actually thought about that. As for the rear seats, I'm 5'11", headroom, legroom is not a problem. There's plenty of space in here. You got vents on the top, which is nice, but you don't get heated seats or baby shades on the side. This is a Land Cruiser, not a Lexus GX. So you need to step up a little bit if you want those luxuries. But it is a pretty good space. And even if you have kiddos, I'm a child passenger safety technician, so I did want to show you exactly, how child seats fit. On the driver's side, this is a Kleckling infant seat. I had no problems fitting an infant carrier in here. The infant carrier did take a little bit of space, so myself at 5'11" in the front here, I just had to push my seat a little forward, but still plenty comfortable here. The thing you have to notice, the vehicle is quite tall, and because of that, you do have to kind of lift the seat higher than some others. So for example, a Highlander, that's going to be a little bit lower and maybe a little bit more comfortable if you're a little bit shorter. On the passenger side, this is a Kleck 5 in rear facing. Once again, no issues fitting that in here. And myself, I fit totally fine right in front. My knees are just right in front of the glove box. There's still a little bit of room. So yeah, you shouldn't have any worries fitting car seats and people in front of it. You wouldn't be able to fit 3 car seats across though. It's just not a wide enough platform for that. In terms of lower anchors, you got 2 sets, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. Very easy to locate behind this flap here. And the 3 upper anchors are just behind the bench. As for the front seats, superbly comfortable. This is the top premium package. So I do get leather. They're heated and cooled, which is nice, but no massaging seats. And lumbar support is only 2-way adjustable, not 4-way like some other vehicles. Either way, it's fine. My frame, I fit in here pretty comfortably, but if you're a little bit bigger, I feel like the seats might be a little too narrow for you. So do keep that in mind and definitely check it out. On lower trim, you get soft text, and on the base 1958, you actually get cloth seats, which is kind of nice. In front of me, I do get a heated steering wheel. I got a plethora of buttons in front of me here. Once you get used to it, it'll be fine, but at first it might be a little intimidating. Behind that, you do get a full digital cluster. It's very similar to other Toyota vehicles. It's quite adjustable in terms of like what you want to see on it. So there's like little pods that you can kind of switch out. There's different themes and whatnot. So you can change it to whatever you like. You do get a heads-up display above that shows you your speed, adaptive cruise, and some other stuff. So the combination of the two should be really all you need. Infotainment, as it is the Land Cruiser range, not the 1958, which gets a smaller screen. This does span the entire width of the center here. Volume button's a little weird, just off to the side here, but it does run the latest Toyota system. So you got Android Auto, wireless CarPlay here, you got satellite navigation, you got Sirius XM. The only thing is, it is a subscription base. So after the subscription runs out, I mean, you either pay for that or you use your CarPlay or Android Auto. What I do like is just the amount of buttons that's in here. It's very traditional. There's like over 80 buttons and switches in front of me that I have access to right here in the driver's seat. So climate control, all physical buttons. All the drive modes, physical buttons. Four-wheel drive control, physical buttons. Everything is a button. The only thing is, some of the buttons are a little weird. Like, you got a dial for mode select, but you got another button for drive mode. And then your MTS, which is your off-road drive modes. So depending on what you need, you've got to press the different modes and then use the select. Unless you're towing, then that's a button right here underneath a power button. And then you have more buttons on the left, including, well, your trailer control. So it's a little weird in terms of button placement. Like, there's just so many, they kind of had to put it all over, but it's better than no buttons, I guess. Under the hood, you do get a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with hybrid assist. Together, it makes 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. And all of that goes to all four wheels all the time. It is a full-time four-wheel drive system, not a part-time like a base 4Runner would be. So it's actually quite, well, idiot-proof, because you kind of just drive it and everything can take care of itself. Like, yes, it has all the additional drive modes. You got low range if you need it. But I feel like if you're buying a Land Cruiser, you don't really have to think about that. You just drive it and it takes care of itself. And that's the lovely thing about it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to think. It's just, well, a Toyota that takes care of all the things for you. And that is a good thing. The powertrain can be a little rackety just because it is a 4-cylinder. Unfortunately, it's not a V8 like it was before. And if you want a twin turbo V6, you're going to have to step up to the GX 550 for that. But it's not like it's down on power or anything like that. If I put my foot down, it takes a second for it to downshift and build up, but it's more than quick enough. 0 to highway speeds, you're looking at under 8 seconds, so it's not the quickest thing, but it's certainly not slow. I would say it's more than adequate. In terms of the overall dynamics of the vehicle, while it is a body on frame, so you do get some of that wiggliness every now and then, it's still really comfortable. I feel like it's a good compromise. It certainly isn't as bad as like 4Runners of the past. This is a lot more comfortable than that, and kind of appreciate its, well, road mannerisms. Just feels pretty comfortable. It can tow 6,000 pounds as well, so if you have trailer, boat, you should be able to carry that. However, if you have more, the GX 550 with that twin turbo V6 can carry 9,000. And that's just the thing. Toyota gives you so many options. You got this Land Cruiser, you got the GX 550, you got the 4Runner. Even the LX is based on the same platform, same wheelbase. And really, in terms of overall space on the inside, it's the same. So you get so many options with the same platform. I know in other parts of the world you get the Land Cruiser 300, which is very similar to the LX, but we don't get that here, unfortunately. And if you really want something bigger, they got the Sequoia for you, but some people say that Sequoia is just a little too big on the trails. This Land Cruiser, I feel like it's a good overall compromise. It's a good size, it's not too big, but it's also maybe a little bit smaller than some would like. I feel like just the previous Land Cruisers were a little bit bigger and they're able to fit more inside, especially if you were to, sleep in the back. This just limits that ability a little bit. There's lots of love. The hybrid motor, it actually returns decent economy. I'm averaging like 13 liters for 100 kilometers right now. I know it's rated for a lot better than that, but 13 isn't bad for a vehicle of this weight size. I mean, the 4Runner that I drove before, that was like 17, 18 liters for 100 kilometers. So it's a vast improvement from that. And I just like the way it looks. There's just something about it that it's just cheerful about it, especially if you get those round headlamps. Round headlamps just make the Land Cruiser just kind of cooler. In any case, I think that's really all I got to say about the Land Cruiser. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Land Cruiser in the comment section down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you wish it was something a little bit more? Or would you just pay a little bit less and get the 4Runner instead? In any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.